Now, last month's riots gave us all food for thought, didn't they? Were they caused by poverty, or has there been what the Prime Minister has called a moral collapse?
Well, some have blamed poor discipline in schools, so is it time to call in the army? There are plans for a school in Manchester run by former military personnel, so will it work? Rachel Foley reports.
There are no pupils, not even a building yet, just a big idea that ex-soldiers could make a difference in the classroom. One ex-soldier who lives in Droylsden thinks it might be worth a go.
Certainly bring discipline into kids' lives and give them hopefully the right direction in life.
The brainchild of a serving soldier from Manchester, Afan Clark, the school would be based somewhere in the city. It would be one of a new breed of schools called free schools, paid for by the state, semi-independent, but playing to new rules. For example, the staff, the soldiers, wouldn't have to have teaching qualifications. The inspiration is an American scheme called Troops to Teachers.
Proud to serve again. That's the motto of Troops to Teachers. Its mission? Contributing to the lives of young people by providing an example that's worth living up to.
A head teacher in Burnage, just the kind of inner-city area the new school would target, isn't impressed.
To have a school that's staffed exclusively by soldiers just seems to me bizarre. You want teachers in schools teaching, not soldiers teaching. You wouldn't go to a hospital which didn't have doctors and nurses in, and you shouldn't really want to go to a school which isn't staffed by teachers. Albeit, yes, please, from all sorts of backgrounds.
Before veterans of Afghanistan and Iraq take on the school children of Manchester, the project has to be approved. The school wouldn't open for at least 2 years. Its backers say they want to produce not good soldiers, but good citizens. Rachel Foley, BBC North West Tonight.
Well, one of the men hoping to roll out this new type of school, first in Manchester and then across the country, is former teacher and military instructor Tom Burkhard. Earlier, I asked him if he was proposing the military school because he was unhappy with the style of teaching in our current schools.
Indeed. I mean, there certainly wouldn't be any other reason for it. Now, the first thing I want to stress is I have worked as a teacher in a comprehensive school, as well as having worked as a military instructor. As a military instructor, as a mere corporal, I was given vastly more freedom to do as I saw fit than any teacher has. I respect the teachers of this school, of this country, because they work under extremely difficult circumstances. But with the amount of micromanagement that is, emanates from the DFE, from local education authorities, and from, various education quangos, they are completely unable to react to situations in the way they see fit.
And these ex-military personnel that will staff the schools and teach in the schools, are they qualified teachers?
No, well, some will be, but this is not something that we consider important. Teacher training in Britain, is something which is basically training young people not to teach. And when you go to most education courses to learn to be a teacher, you are told that you are supposed to be a learning facilitator, and you are supposed to teach children to manage their own learning. When you take an illiterate pupil that grows up in one of our inner city estates, to expect them to manage their own learning when it's almost impossible to maintain discipline in the class is really just in the realms of fantasy.
Right, well, tell me when and where you're expecting to set up this first military school in Greater Manchester.
Unless the government decides that it likes this idea well enough to help us, expedite us through the planning stages, the application stage, there isn't any way we can start one sooner than 2 years from now. The one thing I want to stress is that this is not going to be a military-style school. We are not going to have combined cadet forces. We are not going to have the children on the parade ground doing military maneuvers. We aim to turn out good citizens, not good soldiers. And to do this, we need to have the best possible links with the community.
Tom Burkhard, thank you very much.
And thank you.
Interesting.
Indeed so. Now,